Our house is not your normal house, and instead it's catered to our hobbies to the max. Part of the reason we can do this is thanks to our shared interests. Both of us love tech, gaming, and movies, so neither of us gets left out when we, for example, dedicate a whole room to a movie theater or a gaming basement. It is of course also possible because of content creation being our job. We have a good excuse to really maximize everything and get the best of the best, or even just the option to try a lot of different brands and configurations until we find something that we love. This is a privilege for sure, and we absolutely love sharing that whole journey of setup building with you guys. So in today's video, we will do a tour of our living room. We mentioned it briefly during our house tour a few months ago, but we wanted to slow it down a bit and really focus in on some of the cool details we've put into the space and plans for the future. This video is also sponsored by FlexiSpot, and we'll talk more about them a little later in the video. So first up, where is the living room in our house? Well, it is by the entryway on the main floor, so not part of the basement, right by the hallway that leads into the 3 upstairs setups: the home theater, the office, and the bedroom. It is a spacious room with very tall ceilings, which is actually one of the things that really interested us in this house before we bought it. We tried to build the whole setup around the size of the room to make sure that everything looked like it took up the right amount of space, and we're honestly really proud of how it turned out. There's a lot of things I want to talk about in the setup, but let's start with the most obvious, the couch. This is a leather couch from Hulala Home, and it is absolutely beautiful. I love how much space it takes up without looking too bulky. We have had a lot of different couches and configurations in this room, and this is by far the best. One really nice feature with this couch is the powered recline, which makes it so comfortable to sit in when watching TV or playing games out here. It also has storage space and chargers in the armrest, as well as cup holders. We have a full video on this couch on our channel if you want to learn more about it. Next to the couch is a Sobro coffee table. This is the same type of coffee table that we use in the basement setups that we like a lot. It's a smart coffee table with outlets, speakers, lights, and even a built-in mini fridge. But we don't have this one plugged in right now. We need to find out a good way to route the cables underneath the couch and the carpet to make it seamless. So for now, we just use it as a table. Let's talk about one of the main features of this room, the TV console. This was something that took us a while to decide on, since we really wanted to make sure that it both fit the space and the aesthetics. In the end, we chose to design our own version of an IKEA console. We measured how wide we wanted it to be and started to build it up from there. This gives the space a really unique look and made sure it was the perfect proportions. We ended up with 2 Bestoa bookshelves and 5 smaller Bestoa cabinets, 2 of which are smaller than the other 3. We then got the Glasvik smoked black glass doors for the top of the bookshelves, and Selsviken high gloss brown doors for the bottom cabinets. We did leave the very center of the console open, in which we placed an electric fireplace to make it feel even more luxurious. We also put a panel of soundproofing on top of the centerpiece to match the soundproofing wall panels we have in the room, since we thought it looked a little too flat and boring without it. We have a PS5 console, Pulse headset, PS Portal, and some PlayStation symbols on one side of the center console, and an Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox symbols on the other side. We prefer PS5, but love having options, and like the symmetry that they bring to the setup. We keep our other gaming systems inside of the bookshelves with RGB lights, but are thinking about moving these to the basement setup, where we will have them all hooked up and ready to play in a sort of retro setup. But for now, they can look pretty in our living room. Above the TV is a custom floating shelf, which we had to custom order a large piece of wood for and then paint it ourselves, since most shelves for sale were a lot smaller or extremely expensive. We finished it up with some sleek wall hangers and added plants and statues on top. We still want to add more to this, but it's a great start. The TV itself is an 85-inch glass crystal Ultra HD CU8000 from Samsung. It is sadly not an OLED, so it's definitely something we are thinking of upgrading in the future. However, when we bought this, we wanted to opt in for a big screen rather than the best, since this is not our main gaming screen. This setup is for more casual viewing, so it works great for that. We have our main gaming setups in the basement, which we have a full video on if you're curious about that. We also love the size of the TV since it makes it possible to comfortably watch it from the kitchen dining room, so we can keep watching whatever it is on TV while we eat. We have all cables routed through the wall to make sure everything can be connected while still looking clean. Behind the TV is an RGB backlight from Nanoleaf, and the cabinets and shelves have RGB lights as well. Plus we also have a smart RGB floor lamp in the very corner of the setup. We might upgrade the TV lights in the future for lights that connect to the TV with an HDMI box so that it can match the colors shown on the TV without using this camera. The soundbar is from Majority, and we also have a sub plugged in. It's nothing crazy, but it sounds pretty good for a casual setup. We might upgrade this in the future, but we want to try and keep the minimal look of the soundbar instead of going crazy with, for example, big speakers like how we have it in our home theater. Moving on to the other wall of the living room, and you'll see that we have it all covered in black sound panels. These are from the wood veneer hub, and we also have some of them in our basement setup. They add a really nice look to the wall, plus soundproofs it so we get a better sound in here. It was really tricky to cut all the panels to size, especially around the windows and fireplace, since we did it all ourselves, but it was so worth it. Speaking of the windows and fireplace, the fireplace is real and something that we really love that this room has, and the windows are covered by smart blinds from Yulax. They can either be blackout curtains or let in a little light and are connected to a remote. The previous house owner left his really old curtains, so we are happy with this upgrade since it makes the room feel a lot more modern, and it's nice to not have to walk up to the window each time we want to let a little light in. In front of one of the windows is a reading chair from FlexiSpot, today's sponsor. It is their FlexiSpot Swivel Rockin' Recliner XRC7P in beige. It is an oversized and ultra-wide recliner with a 40.95-inch wide seat and armless design, which makes it really spacious and comfortable. I love sitting crisscrossed in chairs, and this chair is perfect for that. It has a smooth 360-degree swivel, 30-degree rocking, and 155-degree recline, so you can find your most comfortable position for reading, watching TV, or even napping. It's sturdy too, supporting up to 350 pounds with its sturdy wooden armrests and extra padded backrest. The chair is made with sleek faux leather that is both easy to clean and it fits perfectly into our setup style. We got it in beige to match our couch, and I really like how they look together. It even has built-in storage too, and a footrest as well. Thank you again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video and sending us your chair. Make sure to check out the description below for a link with more info. Nearby, on the other side of the fireplace, is our cat Grover's bed. He loves sleeping there whenever we're not in the basement, since he likes to stay close to us. Next to that is another chair, this time a black mid-century modern reclining leather chair, inspired by Eames. It is a really nice chair and we love how it looks in the setup. Sometimes we have this chair where the FlexiSpot recliner is, and instead of have a mini fridge in this corner, we like to change things around slightly. Behind the couch is my personal favorite part of the living room setup, the floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. I have always loved reading and collecting books for my home library, and just love how this displays so many of them in an impressive, eye-catching way. It was actually my dad's idea to do a floor-to-ceiling bookshelf, and we ended up stacking and securing multiple IKEA Billy bookshelves both to each other and also to the wall to create this extra tall shelf. It is just under 2 normal Billy shelves stacked on top of each other, but since we couldn't quite fit 2, we instead went with 1 normal size shelf, 1 half shelf, and 2 height extensions. It's actually really stable and I absolutely love how it turned out. In the future, we want to add a sliding book ladder, but that is another massive project we have to save up for and plan around, since the wall here has some restrictions thanks to the hallway cutouts and also the couch being so close by. Nearby the bookshelves are some massive art prints, which we love. It felt crazy to put 2 extra large prints like these stacked on top of each other, but we feel like they really suit the height of the ceiling and make the space feel extra tall. There is another large art print in the entryway as well, which we also like a lot. In the entryway, we have a shoe closet, a bench to sit on, and a full-length mirror. Walking from the entryway past the living room, we then get to the hallway I mentioned that leads into our home theater, office setup, and bedroom. We painted this hallway black to contrast the light gray walls in the living room and to blend into the home theater colors of black, gold, and red. With this, we have a black and gold painting on the wall, as well as white theater ropes. We used to have red ones, but thought the white ones looked a little more classy, but they are easy to swap back and forth. And that pretty much sums up our living room setup tour. What do you guys think? Not too bad for a secondary setup, right? We really love spending time here and watching casual TV or sports with friends and family, and love that it can also function together with our dining room or even light gaming. Let us know in the comments what you would change or add to it, and maybe we will. Thanks again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video and sending us over their reclining chair. Make sure to check out the description for a link to this. We post setup tours and tech reviews daily, so make sure to subscribe to us here and check us out on TikTok and Instagram at CamXPetra. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. I know it was a long one. Until next time, bye.